Hey guys, welcome to the Max Invest YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the Walmart news that recently happened, a bit of what Chainlink and Ethereum could do to fix it, and then we're going to be taking a look at how I'm going to be making my DeFi portfolio, and I'll be getting a little bit of your help in this matter. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord channel, and remember, nothing in this video is financial advice. Now, the first big thing that spread was a lot of fake news spread in the cryptocurrency markets. Essentially, a whole bunch of cryptocurrency articles were published saying Walmart is about to accept Litecoin. Of course, this resulted in Litecoin's price spiking up significantly before crashing straight back down when people realized that the news was fake and Walmart were not going to be accepting Litecoin. Now, this news is quite funny and very odd, however, it brought up a few different things in the crypto space. One thing that a lot of people were thinking about is how can you actually verify if news was real or if news is fake, and cryptocurrency does provide next generation verification, and it can essentially mean that you can verify if any news is real or any news is fake on chain, and Chainlink and Ethereum have some cool solutions to this. Now, Chainlink God made a bit of a tweet about this, and I do think he was being a little bit sarcastic and a little bit over the top intentionally, however I do find it quite interesting. This is because essentially all blockchains have the ability to cryptographically prove that anything happened. Anything can be verified on chain, and this takes a lot of trust assumptions away. As a direct result, all of these news releases and press releases could be verified by cryptocurrency, and this would eliminate the prospects for fake news. Of course, fake news has a lot more dire consequences than what it did yesterday. Fake news yesterday just resulted in Litecoin pumping and then dumping back down. However, fake news is shown to have a lot more dire consequences in the past, and it'd be good if cryptocurrencies could eliminate this. Now, what Chainlink God essentially said is if only Walmart was running a Chainlink Oracle node, they would have been able to cryptographically prove to everyone the legitimacy of their press release by posting a hash signed by their node's private key on chain. This would mean all fake releases could be immediately identified. All this is saying is that Walmart can essentially sign all of their press releases on the blockchain. This means that all of Walmart's press releases will be stored on a layer 1 like Ethereum forever, and they can use Chainlink to actually do this. Of course, Walmart could get their own private key and verify this stuff themselves. However, if this is all done on a blockchain, this is stored there on an immutable base layer forever and cannot be changed. Individuals can't go into it and change it for fake news, and I do think that while this is a bit of a joke and Walmart probably won't be doing this anytime soon, I do expect a lot of bigger agencies to actually be using blockchains to cryptographically verify everything they publish. You could think that this would be happening with some big US government agencies where you need to ensure that all information is actually correct and verified. They would be able to run their own Oracle nodes pretty easily, publish everything on chain, cryptographically sign everything, and this would take a lot of misinformation away and would be very great in the future. Now, another potential thing that these blockchains could do is the companies could register for an ENS name or a DNS name. It can be a domain service name or an Ethereum name service name. It can be any of these, and once they register for an ENS name, well, then through that ENS name, they can essentially publish anything on the blockchain. So Walmart could register, say, Walmart.eth. This is very similar to Walmart.com, however, it has .eth in front of it. And then anything Walmart published from Walmart.eth will all be stored on the blockchain. It'll be publicly verified, viable, and we'll know Walmart did it because there's only one Walmart.eth. So this is another potential solution where you could just directly use the Ethereum blockchain, and I do find it very, very interesting, and it's something to consider. Now, the next thing that I do briefly want to go over is that I'm allocating a bit of a decentralized finance and NFT gaming portfolio. Now, I do need your guys' help for this. I want to get some suggestions in the comments about what coins I should be holding. Currently, my portfolio is looking something like around 65 to 70% Ether. I hold mostly Ethereum, about 20% Chainlink, so I have a lot of Chainlink, and then I'm thinking that I'm going to have 10% as a diversified portfolio of other assets. This would probably include roughly 5% decentralized finance assets and roughly 5% NFT and gaming assets. Now, the reason that I want to do this is because I want to see if all of these companies of the future built on the Ethereum blockchain can actually outperform Ethereum over the long term, and I will be very interested to see this. Honestly, I'm quite skeptical. I don't think most of these things will outperform Ether in general, and that's why I still have 70% Ether. However, it will be interesting to see how this works. Now, some of the assets that I'm considering right now are Curve Finance, Alchemix, Aave, Synthetics, Uniswap, SushiSwap, Convex, and a few other assets for my DeFi portfolio. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be doing a bit of a breakdown of one of these assets, which is Curve Finance. So, in a few of the upcoming videos, I'll probably be breaking down what some of these assets are, and if these assets are worth investing in my personal opinion. As I already said, the first thing that I do want to look at is Curve Finance. Now, if you don't know what Curve Finance is, all Curve Finance is it's used for swapping between assets and it's used for yield farming on. Essentially, if you want to swap WETH with ETH, Curve Finance is going to give you one of the top prices for it. You're essentially going to lose no money swapping between stable coins, swapping between different types of assets, and it's very useful. Of course, in the cryptocurrency space, we do need to swap between a lot of assets. If you're like me and you're staking your Ethereum on Lido, when you want to unstake that ETH, all you need to do is go onto Curve, swap the staked ETH for normal ETH, and Lido or Curve Finance will give you the best possible price. So, Curve Finance does play a big role in the decentralized finance ecosystem, specifically for swapping tokens. Now, in my opinion, the Curve token has a lot of value to it. As you can see, CRV has a price of $2.42, it has a market capitalization of $1 billion and a fully diluted market capitalization of $8 billion. Now, this may seem quite expensive. A fully diluted market capitalization of $8 billion for CRV does seem like a lot. However, in my opinion, I do think this is a pretty good deal. And if we see Ethereum become the base layer of the entire world, we see ETH really start to take over and a lot of big banks using ETH, well, there's going to be a lot of swapping needed. You're going to need to be swapping between assets on chain in the future, and if big centralized companies with tons and tons of money are using ETH, which I'm 100% sure they will, I do believe Curve is going to follow, and I think a fully diluted market cap of $8 billion is undervalued for Curve right now. Now, the main reason for this is because a ton of money is locked into Curve Finance. Heaps and heaps of people are using Curve Finance, and the money in it speaks for itself. As you can see on the screen here, I have a chart of the total value locked in Curve Finance. As you can see, back last year, there was around $2 billion locked into Curve. However, this has continued to steadily grow. By the big DeFi boom of May, there was nearly $10 billion locked into Curve. However, it kept growing, and up until now, there's about $12.5 billion locked up in Curve, which is an absolutely insane amount. $12.5 billion is higher than the fully diluted market cap, and I do believe that these should be somewhat in line with each other. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, what's the actual point of the CRV token? If the CRV token doesn't have that much value, well then it might not pump and Curve might continue to be used. However, the CRV token does have quite a lot of value. The first obvious value proposition of the token is that it's used for governance. If you ever want to vote up on chain or vote on changes, you need to lock up your CRV. If you lock up your CRV, you're taking it out of circulation, you're using it for governance, and any changes are then voted on, which is a good case for it. Now, the next obvious case for the CRV token is essentially you can yield farm with it. CRV is paid out as rewards when you're yield farming. So if you're trying to earn, say, 4% or 5% on your ETH, well, Curve is probably going to give you about 2% back in CRV tokens. And there's a whole bunch of things you can do with Curve. There's a yield farming flywheel effect, which I don't fully understand with Curve Finance and Convex, and there's a bunch of different yield aggregation tools that you can do with this coin. Now, the next good bullish thing is that Curve Finance did reduce their inflation rate dramatically, and this stops a lot of the farm and dumps in the ecosystem. So overall, I do believe that there's a lot of cool use cases for Curve Finance, and I do think the token has a very good chance of appreciating over the long term. Anyway, this brings us to the end of the video. In the next couple of videos, I'm going to be talking about a few other decentralized finance tokens and a few other NFTs and gaming tokens. Now, if you have any suggestions below for what you'd like me to look into or talk about, it would be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for watching the video.